Hello, we are back from the American Cities House at South by Southwest. I'm Jade Floyd with the Case Foundation. So we are having a number of conversations today here with investors, ecosystem builders, but the part I'm most excited about is the entrepreneurs. So today we have with us Naji Kelley. He is the CEO of BLNDED Media. BLNDED is a platform that he will tell you lots about, but I particularly love looking at it every single day to learn more about entrepreneurs of color, those within the LGBT community, veterans. There's really a plethora of founders out there that you can learn their stories. So tell us, Naji, first off, how did you come up with the name BLNDED, and tell us a little bit more about the platform?
Absolutely. So 2015, it started as a docu-series idea. And it was actually the team at the time, it was about 4 of us. And we were in the process of, okay, we started shooting. That kind of fell through as far as doing a documentary, but the name BLNDED came out of that. So it was a team effort in the sense of what name best represented what we were trying to do. And it was highlighting people of color, entrepreneurs specifically, and what they're doing in business, the companies that they're building. So that name means so many things, and that's what stuck and came out of that process.
And so the site, it's updated daily. You have a series of reporters who go out, find these stories. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So we have content contributors. We have about 8 right now, and we started 2016. So at this stage, in the last 7 months, it's been a lot of work. So right now, we actually updated our website about 3 weeks ago. We're updating content consistently with those content contributors. Mostly are here in Austin, Texas, but we have a few that are actually outside of Austin. So we focus on Austin currently, but our plan is to actually go national. We have a couple students that's actually at Florida AMU, as well as another HBCU in Durham, North Carolina. So our contributors are able to speak from their perspective, whether it be an entrepreneur, whether it actually be a student, to share their narrative of what it means to be an entrepreneur, whether it means to be somebody interested in technology. And where we started was we wanted a publication where it amplifies the voices of entrepreneurs. We kind of document what's going on, but we give that platform an opportunity to those that have the voice and what they're building in their companies and technology to be able to amplify what they're doing.
And you're really working to change the narrative around who can be an entrepreneur, because too often, you Google entrepreneur today, go on your computers, Google it right now, most of the images that are going to pop up are going to be white men. Right. And, the story is more about entrepreneurs who are changing the face of the American economy, and they look like you and I. Talk to us a little bit about, what that journey has been for you trying to capture those stories.
It's been amazing. So for me, it's kind of been an education experience, if you will. And with me, it's been able to have those personal conversations to understand people's journeys, and I'm able to apply it to my journey as well. So when I'm talking to another female entrepreneur, I'm understanding that dynamic, what it means to be a woman first and foremost, but what her experience is in technology and business. So I'm more cautious in either having conversations or at least approaching certain things. But specifically when I was talking to one founder that's here in Austin, her story for me was like, you know what? I had a surreal moment when I talked to her, because it was like I looked at my mom and what she did and what she provided for me, and then I said, you know what? I want a woman founder on my team. And I was actually able to do that organically, which was like amazing, because I'm like, I don't want to be, force things, but how things came together. Now we have Alexis, who's our chief digital officer and co-founder. So the personal experience through the stories, you never know what you can get out of it, but when you kind of are open-minded about that experience, there's so much that comes from that.
So I love that you mentioned your team. Entrepreneurs, obviously, they come up with these amazing ideas, but it really takes the team behind them to build and scale the company. So tell us a little bit more about, as you were building out the company and developing that team, what were you looking for as you being yourself an entrepreneur?
So for me, like, I'm also in the United States Navy Reserves, so the teamwork has always been like day one. And I really understood that more so, especially through boot camp, because it's mental, but the people that you meet, like, it's so many different cultures. It's a global organization. So that perspective, when it came to my team, I actually look more at, okay, I want to have diversity on my team, but be organic to me as well. So I had that exposure being overseas a few times, talking to different people, different cultures. I wanted people that were open-minded, but the different skill sets and things they bring to the table was different from me. So Jonathan, who's our CTO, he brings that technical aspect as well as understanding the business and asking questions and kind of get that information. And then Alexis, social media extraordinaire, marketing strategy, and then Nakivi, who's our art director, she brings that component. And then with Ruben on our board, he brings a wealth of marketing information. Christine, who's our advisor, and Zach, technical and marketing expertise.
That's great. So you're at South by.
Yes.
First off, tell us what's been most exciting for you while you've been here. There's just so much to, take in. There's so many media platforms here.
Yes.
What are you most excited about?
Meeting entrepreneurs. It's a lot of entrepreneurs that you kind of see in the limelight per se, or you might see every once in a while. To actually meet them, it's very interesting in the sense of, like, you see someone on TV, you might read about somebody, but when you're actually able to interact with them, you build that network, you build that communication, and you're actually able to understand their story at a deeper level than the surface, if you will. So for me, it's been amazing to kind of reach out to people that I've met. Hodge Flemings, who came in from Detroit, Anthony Frazier I met last year at South by. So it's like a lot of those people to actually build that network with, but now kind of share what we're doing, but to get those stories as well.
Yes. So what's next for BLNDED? What should we be on the lookout for in the next year?
So that's a great question. So we recently, 2 days ago, finalized a media partnership with Austin Eno, which is a local publication with national reach. So with that, we now have another outlet to be able to tell these stories. And part of that is internally we create content. We have an editor as well. But we are able to give more opportunities for the contributors to actually share their stories and their perspectives. So I'm really happy about and looking forward to the students being able to contribute and share their stories, as well as how do we amplify the platform in its entirety to where we want to take it to become an actual digital network for multicultural audiences interested in business. So with those people that are actually we're able to highlight, we want the people behind the scenes and behind the camera to be representative of them as well and helping them tell those stories.
Yes. So tell us, you've written obviously hundreds of stories, you have featured dozens and dozens of entrepreneurs. Who are the ones that are on your radar that all of us need to make sure that we're checking out their products, their platforms, and we're supporting them?
Definitely, it's so many, I think. First and foremost, like, we're out here, and that needs to be first and foremost. Zuby, who has Think and Zoom, he's also a veteran. We have Ruben Cantu, who's got Level Up Institute, taking students and helping them get into business but understand those skill sets. Michael Henderson, who has Interlocal here, where he's in mobility, innovation, technology, working with the city of Austin as well. To V from HomeMads, what she's doing from the real estate perspective, to... Man, it's like I'm leaving people out.
There's
absolutely,
so many.
Absolutely.
So, talk to me a little bit about Austin. I'm a native Texan, lived in Austin, and it's a region that you don't often see entrepreneurs of color coming out and making their mark here, and it's changing.
Yes.
And so, tell us why you chose Austin to build and grow your company.
Well, I'm actually from Cleveland, Ohio, and actually the end of March, it'll be 3 years I've been in Austin.
Okay.
So for me, and it was actually when I was overseas on orders where I actually reached out in this entrepreneur magazine where I kind of read up about Austin. So for me, I wanted to reach out to someone that can actually, give me a lay of the land. And Joshua Bear from Capital Factory actually sent me some links. So I was looking at the ecosystem in the sense of, I went to California, I was able to experience that, I talked to Angela Ben, I was able to meet her. But it was like, unless you went to like an Ivy League school, you had your connections, you get lost in the sauce real quick. So for me, Austin was that happy medium in where you can bounce in between both coasts. But as far as coming to Austin, you can make a name for yourself, you can build your company. And with Austin's ecosystem, the opportunity to highlight entrepreneurs of color and kind of hopefully add a solution to that, I think BLNDED Media is primed to be able to do that.
I dig it. I love this. Well, so tell us, if folks who are watching, if they'd like to become a contributor, how they can get in touch with you.
Okay.
And if they're an entrepreneur, how can they get on your radar?
Man, social media. I love Twitter. So Twitter, Facebook, we're on Instagram, all social media channels, minus Snapchat momentarily. But feel free to reach out on any platform. Shoot us an email as far as contributors to editor@blended, BLNDED, media.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Naji. We appreciate you coming out, sitting down with us at South by. There's lots more to look forward to in our Facebook Live conversation, so be sure to tune in later this afternoon. And thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.